All right, here's another of my UFOs, and this one is quite old, probably 2 years maybe. Sat unfinished for a couple of years, and actually I think all that had to be done was the binding, and I guess I just never could figure out how to bind it before. I wasn't satisfied with the things I had tried. But since subsequent to that, then I had been at a thrift store and I had found just leather tie on a reel and just like leather string on a reel, and I had purchased it. And so when I was looking to bind this, I tried binding it with ribbon. I wasn't satisfied. I tried again, wasn't satisfied, pulled the ribbon out, and then went looking in my stash, and there was this leather tie, and I think it really suits the texture of this paper. This is a little charm that I made. It's more of a tassel with a little, it's got a little charm on it that I made specifically for this long time ago. It's made out of some shiny embroidery floss and some silk ribbon, silk embroidery ribbon, and then just some beads. Real simple. It's got a little heart charm that I had from a long time ago. Most of this I kind of only remember. I think this is the Tim Coffey collection that came out a couple years ago. The flowers are bulky. I mean, this one gaps. This is more gaposis than I'm usually willing to do now. I used to have more of this gapping kind of thing, the gap with my work that I did a couple years ago. Since then, I've gotten to where I like them to lay a little flatter. But the reason for the gap is these flowers, and they're all really nice. They were the A-line flowers, and I just painted them with Glimmer Mist, and I added diamond dust. They're really pretty. Got a cute little flower button in there, and then some just little, probably Prima flowers, and this tiny, I don't know if you can see it, it's a little bee. Cute. This is just blue cardstock that I painted with my Glimmer Mist, or I sprayed with my Glimmer Mist and punched out into a lace pattern. This is really, look at that. It's actually, it's cork, but the joints are teal colored, and that's something that Stampin' Up! Or Club Scrap had a couple years ago in one of their kits. This is just a bling friend from the Dollar Spot, Michaels, and this came from the collection. I just fussy cut it out and topped it with glossy accents. Like I said, the book itself was done 2 years ago, and then I just found it, so I'm just getting it out of my unfinished projects box. On this side, this is Club Scrap paper. Beautiful, beautiful paper. It's embossed and it's lovely. And then a little photo mat. And I think this corner was Scrap Goods, which I was a Scrap Goods design team member probably 4 or 5 years ago. So I have a bunch of Scrap Goods stuff. They're no longer, they were Kit Club and they're no longer in business, but they were great. And this was just a little flower I made with punches. And I think this paper, pretty sure that paper, it looks like it's, it looks like it has Glimmer Mist on it, but actually it's just the way the paper came. It was a Club Scrap thing too. It's a red paper with gold sheen over the top. Quite lovely. And a little button. I just punched and made them. This here, these envelopes, I'm sure they are ones that I made with my silhouette like week 1 of getting it. I just loved my silhouette from week 1. And I must have been inspired by those long book envelope books that were out a year or 2 ago. Anyway, so I had created these long envelopes, and look at that lovely lacy flap, and I put one of those flowers on each of the flaps. These, more of the cork punched with just a little half pearl and some of that lace punch behind it. And you open this up, and I tried to put tags in each. Most of them have, like, there's some stamping on this one, and you open it up and there's sections for pictures and journaling. This is Club Scrap. I remember this. This was a Valentine collection like 5 years ago. Just gorgeous, gorgeous cardstock that I felt coordinated with the paper. On this side, another one of those flowers, just a tag I made probably with the silhouette, and then I just stamped some words I had on it and did a little distressing. And then I don't remember, I have a flourish that kind of does this, and I just thought it was cool, so I cut around the top, and then I cut a square, and it made a pocket. And of course this, I know that I made these tags with my silhouette, the sunflower type. No, that's a Martha Stewart punch. Yeah, that's a Martha Stewart punch. It's a giant border punch that I just made it into tags. That's right. See, it's been a long time since I made this book. It's kind of... and then in the Tim Coffee paper, there was a whole sheet with lots and lots of butterflies and dragonflies, and I fussy cut a bunch of them out and put glossy accents on them. So, and on this side is just a journaler with a little bit of stamping, some ribbon, and then again the flap with the homemade flower on it. It's got lots of diamond dust. Was really interested in the diamond dust when I was making this. A little bit of journaling here. You turn it over, just some lovely, I think this might be crepe paper. It's old. This is old paper. It's got to be at least 5 years old. Probably something I got when I was in Scrap Goods. This was a stash user. Those are good projects, right? A little bit of ribbon, just some stamping. And then you come over here, and this is a velvety ribbon that I think I got this from Big Lots, but I just cut it, and then I glued it down on the edges, and it made this little tag, and I stamped on the tag and colored it in, and then it's just pattern paper on the back. And those lovely poppies. You pull this out, and I stamped these bees onto the tag. And just some pattern paper. And, oh, and the pattern paper, I love this flourish. So I put glitter glue along the flourish there and let it dry. Each of these little flowers is kind of neat. I mean, I love the look of them. They're just bulky. I don't remember where I got those little tiny flowers. Maybe Michael's. I don't know. Okay, this, I know I got this ribbon from Scrap Goods. I remember that month. Some stamping. And then in the middle, I just took a little paper bag, one of those little, just a little paper bag, and folded it in half and glued it here. So there's a tag here and a tag here. So there's this tag, and it sticks up. And I love how these little stick up. And then there's just these little tiny tags in there, just 2 of them. They're the same. And then this, I think that's a stamp I have, and I used Stays On and just punched it. Okay. This side, this, I know this came from Scrap Goods. And a flower I made, and there's just a little journaling spot there. And then of course another tag in here. More of the Club Scrap, gorgeous, gorgeous. This is gorgeous paper. It looks like like a stone tile. It's beautiful. And that little bee just came from the Tim Coffee paper. It's the same. And then you open it up, and there's more of the paper, and I stamped some lines, or maybe I hand wrote those lines. I don't remember. For journaling. It's just a cute little book. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but at least it's done, right? This flower has some felt, and then a pink, and then a little pearl. On this side, on some paper, I stamped a stamp I have. I think this is a Stampin' Up! Stamp from a long time ago. And then I just kind of, scribbled watercolor pencils in it, and then spritzed it, and it gives it that kind of look. And then punch flower over here, and a little flourish from Scrap Goods. And it's open, so you can tuck under it. And then on this side, it's a lift up. You've got your flower that I made, and then this is stamped on top of this paper. This is more Club Scrap paper. It's highly textured, and it has that vine. When you open it up, it's got some area for journaling and a picture. And then over here, this flower I made with brocade fabric. I don't know if you can tell that that's brocade fabric. It's where I did a tutorial on how to back your brocade fabric with paper, pattern paper, and then you can actually just punch it out with your Big Shot, and it doesn't fray. And then I put a little flower on top and a little button. Oh, did I not bring out the tag? I don't think I brought out the tag for this one. It's pretty simple. Okay. So this is the last of the envelopes. And then you come over here, and this is just the pattern paper here down on 3 sides so that you have a tag, a place to hold a tag. Oh, look, I stamped smile there. I'd forgotten that. How cool is that? That's kind of nifty. And one of the little cork flowers, some journaling. And then on this side, this is another one where I think that's a Stampin' Up! Stamp from a couple years ago, maybe several, where I stamped it and then I colored it watercolor and spritzed it in that little tiny dragonfly, and then this dragonfly. And then the back is just the lovely hydrangeas. All right, so this is a friend, Minnie, and if y'all have any suggestions on what to do with it, let me know. I don't know what I'm going to need to start selling some of my minis because I have so many that I don't use, and even my family doesn't really need any more. So, but I don't know. It seems like such a task to put it on eBay or whatever. But here it is. It's a finished mini, and it's no longer in my unfinished projects box. Hooray!